Hey, welcome to the Skinergy Squad podcast with your captain, Kristen Heath, and let's not forget, head cheerleader, Cindy Grossman. Let's go. Hey.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday it is. Kind of raining outside right now, but today was beautiful.
Storming. I left work and it was crazy coming from beachside.
Yeah, but it was a beautiful day.
Hello, Miss Tammy Gibbs.
Hi.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Caught a little bit of a sniffle, but I'm feeling better already. Yes.
I think we caught the same sniffle from the same culprit.
Aw.
Let me tell you, baby germs are the worst.
Oh, it was okay.
Definitely. Did you do anything or just take it easy?
Saturday night we went for early bird at Flavors. I don't know if anybody knows Flavors. Give Chef Jason a shout out. He's a terrific chef down in Cocoa Beach, Flavor. And I mean, if you want to be entertained by a great chef from New York City, it's definitely the place to go.
Hi,
Definitely.
Anna. Hi, Maxine.
Definitely fun. But he may tell you what's on his mind, and he may make you feel not too special. But the food is good. The food is good. Yes.
And it's like also so home cooked because you see him cooking it right there.
Yes.
It's a whole atmosphere. You don't go for, it's not a quick meal.
No.
It's definitely a time to go and enjoy and relax. So
right.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. And we eat, just to suggest something, the paella is delicious. Really great.
You got to get more than one to share because they're so good.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. And Sunday, I just kind of relaxed, took it easy. How about you?
I swear the weekends go by so fast that I think I pretty much kept it easy. I did some shopping. Target is so dangerous. Don't ever think you're going to Target for one thing, especially a woman, because we'll come back with a cart full of stuff. So, and we hit up a little boutique for my son to get him some clothes. So,
oh, great. Nice.
But took it easy, let him cause the house to be a mess. I let him go wild on the weekend and then restart my week on Monday. So
sounds good.
It was good. Yes. Yeah. So I think that everybody is excited. We always look forward to our national holidays.
Oh, yes. And there are some doozies. Believe it or not, today was Floral Design Day, International Sword Swallowers Day. Yes,
Wait, what? Oh!
Sword. Yes. National Chocolate Souffle Day, if anybody
Tracy
likes chocolate souffle. And believe it or not, National Public Sleeping Day. So being from New York, if you fell asleep on the subway or the bus, today was your day. Rare Disease Day. Unfortunately, we've been living that day for a couple of years now, so not great. And National Peanut Butter Lovers Day is coming up for any of you peanut butter lovers. Of course, tomorrow, Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, National Pancake Day. And this is a big one coming up. Stop Bad Service Day. Okay? That's a podcast all on its own to talk about bad service. Okay, so we'll move on. Let's not stop there. Let's just.
So tomorrow's Fat Tuesday for Mardi Gras.
Tomorrow's Fat Tuesday. Yeah.
Have you ever
got to get your bead? I've never been to New Orleans.
Never.
No, never.
What are those things that people talk about? Are they beignets?
The beads.
I think. Don't you think I know how to say beads? No, I think they're called beignets. They're like little fried. If I told you who I heard talk about them, you'd be like, but Miss Kim K herself, when she I think when she was pregnant with one of her kids, she said that she would have to go to New Orleans just for them. But I think they're like a fried thing, like in powdered sugar or something. I have to
maybe her and Pete will be there tomorrow. We'll have to check that out with the paparazzi.
So funny. You've never done anything for Mardi Gras?
No. No.
Someone on
I
Twitch
did.
made a
I
funny
did.
face about sword swallowing.
Oh yes, but I did recently go to a masquerade party, and it was a Mardi Gras theme, so that was nice. Something different.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. That was
wasn't that
fun.
with Curry Properties?
Yes, it
I think
was.
I saw some photos. Let me tell you, the ladies there do not disappoint.
No, and the gentlemen who were dressed to the hill too. It was really something special for sure.
They do it big
Yeah.
over there at Curry Properties.
Oh yeah,
Well,
they
that sounds
certainly
like
do.
fun. So that
All
goes
your
into our
comments.
next, I know, our next topic. Do you think
Sad.
baseball?
Very sad. It's not looking good. It's already, they're saying 1 month late, and we're going to lose probably April. Can't. It's going to break my heart. It's going to break
So
my
that would
heart.
mean that they
If
have
I
no
cannot
training
see
at
my
all.
team,
Look,
if I can't see my team, and this year,
listen, if there's no
they're
baseball,
retiring this man's number.
wait, stand up so
There
they can
has,
see stand
there
up
has
so
to
they can
be
see the signature. Scoot back up. There we go.
There
Sign.
has to be. There has to be baseball. I have to see him get his monument in Monument Park in Yankee Stadium. Come on.
Listen, if there's
Break
no
my heart.
baseball, we'll just have to set it up on the side of your house.
Right. There you go. I'll
No,
have
but
to
I
go
was reading
stalk
they're
him like
going
I
back
used
and
to.
forth. Where are they at again doing the down in Florida, right? Jupiter?
Yes, Jupiter, Roger Dean Stadium. That's where they meet. But one
Somebody said the
seat,
owners don't care.
they don't. Well, I think they do because that's the way they make their money.
Someone
But
said it's
one
a tax
CEO,
write-off.
oh, the loss probably, right? But there is one CEO that's missing from the meetings.
Oh yeah, there is.
Somebody left the Marlins.
Listen, I
I'm
hope our
hope he's
audience,
coming back.
I wish people in our audience, I wish I had my phone out because I would have recorded it and added it in right here. This lady was so excited. We were at the studio when you read the news.
Yes.
She was screaming like a little kid for joy.
Yes. Derek Jeter. He left the Marlins. He gave up his percentage. There he is. He gave up his percentage. He walked away from his CEO position. And I say he's coming back to New York. And I say, Cashman, look out. He's coming for you.
So why do you think he's coming back?
He's a New York guy. He was the New York Yankees. He played for them his entire career, over 20 years. And I think what was going on with the Marlins team.
Did he give up his ownership?
Yes, he gave up everything. He walked away. It's over. Over.
Done. So did he
Done.
sell it back or like how does that work?
I'm sure they bought it back from him. Yeah. Yeah.
So you think
everybody pray to the baseball gods that Derek Jeter will return to New York. We can only hope. Only hope.
I just hope baseball gets going. So wait, I just want to recap. If they start a month late or cancel a month in April, there's like going to be no training, right? So forget spring training.
They have to have spring training. The pitchers must train. You can't put the pitchers out there without training. They need their training.
Aren't they training now?
Well, you would think they do, but you never know. I mean, we've discussed it. I follow Chappie on Instagram.
Is he training?
He's training hard. Oh yeah. That's for sure.
Somebody commented and said they don't want to win, so he doesn't want to be affiliated with a losing team.
Oh.
Why don't they want to win?
Because the owner, the Marlin owners don't want to spend the money for the good players. It's true. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's sad. We just want baseball too.
Exactly. I want to go to spring training in Tampa. I want to see Aaron Judge.
When someone said, Hi, I've been to New Orleans in 1998 for Mardi Gras.
Nice, Helena. Good for you.
Jen says her grandma can't wait for baseball. I know that your grandma can't wait for baseball, but your grandma doesn't go for the right team.
Who
Listen,
does?
Cindy, who does she go to? Well, they're from Mass, so
Oh,
they go for the Red Sox. And let me tell you, when Sebastian was in my belly, they're like, oh, we're going to put him in Red Sox stuff. And
I know. Hey,
yeah.
listen, I live with someone who loves another team too. It's just something you have to deal with. Yeah. Yeah.
This grandma wants baseball too. Yes.
Yes. Maxine's a big Chicago fan. Yeah. We look forward to it.
On Twitch, they said the pitchers will only be able to throw 60 pitches if they shorten
Oh,
spring
you
by
see
half.
that? See that? Isn't that crazy?
I
That's
hope that
like,
they're all practicing like Chappie.
I do too. I do too. Yeah.
So that brings us to our topic tonight. What the heck is going on in this market?
The real estate market.
Yes, the real estate market, correct. So
Yes.
we have two amazing guests tonight. So Cindy, do you want to tell everyone how you kind of got involved with Curry Properties and all of that?
Well, my husband works very close with Curry Properties. And when we opened up our studio, we wanted to do something nice for the entire office. So we dropped them off some holiday baskets. And, we just wanted to welcome them to us, so to say, because we're close
Yes.
by.
We're like
Their office is
neighbors in
close.
Satellite
Right.
Beach. Yes. And I've
Absolutely.
had a few of the ladies from the office come by, and they're all so wonderful and sweet. So we have today, oh, someone else commented, we're lucky if Chapman can throw 30 pitches on a full spring.
Oh, God. Oh,
Sorry, I'm
boy.
going off topic.
Okay.
But
Yes.
yeah, so today we have, go ahead.
Joe Ludlow and Chris Register from Curry Properties, and we're going to bring them in right now.
Here we go.
Yay! Hey!
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Thanks
We
for
have a
having
lot
me.
of.
Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Please, thank you for coming on. We have a lot of questions. Now, I've been working closely with Joel because I'm looking to downsize. But unfortunately, Joel could tell you, he started at calling it the Holy Grail. He
No,
said
your
that.
husband said that, and I didn't agree.
So, and of course, the Holy Grail, I don't think it was ever found.
Well, it's
So,
tough right now. It's tough. It's just a lot of buyers are calling it the Holy Grail to find what they want because the market is so challenging because the inventory is so low.
crazy.
So he said the Holy Grail, and I said it's not exactly the case, but I don't disagree with you because it's so challenging for a buyer right now. The nice thing for you guys is you're not in a big rush.
Right.
So I wouldn't call it the
Somebody
Holy
said Joel is styling.
Oh,
Grail. What side? Got the Curry Properties right there.
nice.
I had a jacket, but I took it off. I was too hot. So
There you go.
Chris is styling. He knows everything about the real estate market.
Chris, I
tax
love your
guy, and
setup
that's why
in
I'm
the
glad
back.
he's here. So
He's
thank
the
you.
I think
guru.
everybody should take a minute and appreciate. Look at this background.
He knows what he's doing. He
Well,
does.
that's a little bit, I don't know, kind of stage set.
Is that a mushroom from like Mario back up there? Up
Yes.
top.
Look on your
It
corner.
says time to level up.
Love it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
Cool.
Next to my books, I like to read. It's not
Oh,
one of those.
nice.
I'm a knowledge seeker, so
Oh, we know somebody
Excellent.
else that loves to
I
read.
love it. Love the information.
But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
appreciative that Cindy and Mitch trust me to help them out. And unlike so many other buyers, they're not in a big rush. And
But if anybody wants to buy a $2.5 million house,
Oh, stop it. Look how she's.
But there's a lot of buyers out there that it's very challenging for a buyer, and Chris will touch on that later. And
Yes.
we'll talk about how things might change and whatnot. So based on the
Okay.
data that he's seen, but it's great to be a seller right now. It's a little bit challenging to be a buyer. If you're a buyer that has to get into a property, it's tough. If you're patient, it's okay. But that's kind of my 2 cents on it. If you want to get facts and figures from Chris, he is a wealth of knowledge. He really is. He has the data that will kind of resonate with people. So,
well,
Terrific.
2 things, Chris. Somebody commented and said that they like your sign, that they like the time to level up sign. And then our first question comes, how can a single person making $40K get into a property?
You want me to answer that one?
sure.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm very transparent with anything on real estate. I'm not gonna obviously sugarcoat anything.
Sugarcoat, right?
It'll
Good.
be, respectable. But I would say that you can't, unfortunately, right?
Right now
So
you
it makes it- you can't. And you're not the only person. A lot of locals, especially in Brevard County, they're not going to be able to purchase in this market. So, as you guys know, Joel was just saying, it's almost like a holy grail to find that like single family home, even a basic 3-bedroom, 2-bath beachside. It's almost like, wow, like have fun. There's nothing available. I get people all the time like, hey, I'm looking for something. And I'm like, the first thing I always say is I always bring this up. I'm like, do you understand what's going on in the market? And even if they say, yes, I do, I still explain Brevard County because Florida is obviously getting a lot of influx of people.
I know.
And when that happens, and it's not just the people coming here, that's one thing that's obviously, sucking up the inventory, which is supply and demand, low supply. So if we went to Publix and there was only 10 bananas available, you guys know those bananas are going to be pretty pricey. Same thing with real estate. Inventory goes low, prices go high. So that traffic that's coming in is obviously doing that. But here's the other kicker. Last time when the market obviously had a situation where, obviously it went up and then it crashed, we actually had builders building and they're replenishing inventory. So right now the builders aren't really replenishing inventory. And even if, you hear like, oh, well, there's a couple, new construction homes that went up, they got it controlled right now. Where I was talking to Holiday Builders the other day down in, it was Sable Key was a new neighborhood. And she's like, hey,
Is that in Palm Bay?
In Palm Bay.
Yeah, I think I pass it every day.
Okay. I didn't even really know it was there. And I came across it because a client saw it on Zillow. So I contacted the agent that was working over there. And she's like, well hit me up around February 2nd. I'm going to let you know what the new inventory is and the pricing because they're like controlling it. So I hit her up. I'm like, hey, what do you got available? She's like, well, I'm only allowed to sell 2 homes per month. I'm like, you're only allowed to sell 2 homes per month. So if you just think about that happening, and then out in Vieira, they got the lottery system and they got everything unlocked right now. And without going down the rabbit hole of why this is all happening and if it's happening on purpose, if it's by design, all we know is that there's no inventory from builders getting replenishing the inventory. We got a bunch of buyers coming in from a lot of different states and they're eating up the inventory. So right now it's not allowing the market to become more healthy where we need more inventory so buyers can buy. And obviously it helps soften the prices if we can get more inventory. But right now, as I'm talking to you guys, it's the historical record low that has ever happened in Brevard County. And we're at about 535 single family homes for the entire county. And if you want a quick understanding of what 535 is for single family homes, like that's just a quick estimate. Back when the market crashed, it went all the way up to 10,000. So at one point you can go on Zillow or on MLS and you can see all the green active homes, the little dots on the map. There was 10,000 dots. Now we have 500 and let's just say under 600 dots. If that can, you can put your mind around that.
Somebody commented and said, any concerns with the current house market crashing similar to 2008?
2008. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Joel, what's your opinion on that one, Joel? I got my opinion on it.
I know you've told me, but it's been a little while, but I think that the market crashes when there's an influx of inventory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like today I was running numbers for a customer in North Satellite. And I did a search of all the single family homes for sale in North Satellite Beach. And I looked at the results and I walked over to my office manager, Blair Wilgus, and I said, do me a favor, walk over to your computer and do a search of every single house that's currently for sale in North Satellite Beach. And it's a couple mile stretch. There's one. There's one house for sale. And then I did a search from O'Galley Boulevard to Jackson, where our office is, single family homes is 10. So if you want to buy from Indian Harbor Beach and to Pineda Causeway, and you want your kids to go to a certain school district, you have 11 houses to choose from. So to me, that tells you that the market won't crash because supply and demand. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it makes sense to me in my head, but back when it crashed, there was super high interest rates. There's a lot to buy. Now there's like low interest rates, not a lot to buy. I think Chris will probably touch in a little bit about what will happen if the interest rates go up and how that will affect the market. He understands that more than anybody. But my opinion right now is I don't see a crash by any means. I think it will level off. Instead of doing this like it's been doing, it might do this. But that's my opinion from what I've seen, anyways. I don't see how anything can crash if there's nothing to buy. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna go off of what Joel just said. So I'm with him on that as far as like the inventory goes. He's saying pretty much make that inventory change, and then I'll say, hey, we have a problem. But until that inventory changes, we're both gonna say like there's no problem yet because we can keep checking the MLS every month. And if we don't see that inventory stack, well then it's obviously there's not going to be a problem. We're still going to be dealing with this situation where a lot of locals, somebody that's making, let's say $50,000-$60,000 a year, it's hard for them to buy. You know, just their DTI, their debt to income needs to be at a certain ratio for them to be able to buy. And if we look at this also, what is the average income for Brevard County? Now, if the average income is increasing, right, and it's going up, then we can help support this. But even if it is increased a little bit, which I think it has, you know, maybe a little bit, but nothing like, you know, astronomically. But what else has increased? Has insurance increased? Has the price of cars increased? Has gas
increased? Price of gas?
As boats, everything, housing. So even if we do increase, you know, the average household income, everything else is taking their piece, taking their cut. So it really keeps them like in a position where it's like, well, nothing's helping. Even if I get paid more at my job, everything went up. So it's back to equal in a way, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I think obviously it's still up right now is obviously because there's no inventory. The builders aren't helping out right now. And then we got the influx of people coming in, obviously, without going down the political thing. A lot of people are drawn to Florida for, you know, certain reasons. They just feel like it's, you know, more fit to them. So you're getting all those states coming in. So until the inventory obviously adjusts, and here's the thing, if we go back to 2006, 2007, 2008, was there a sign of a market crash? Now, I was still a rookie in the business. I'm 18 years in now. He's up there with me. Both have done a lot of sales and a lot of transactions. So we're very familiar with what has kind of taken place. But since I was a rookie at the time, I didn't know and I wasn't aware. But now, because I've been tracking this stuff since 2004, I go back and look at that data, which a lot of, you know, no offense, there's probably not a lot of agents looking at it like this. I noticed that the inventory started to stack. So I say, wow, in 2004 and 2005, I watched it go from 2,500. And then the next year it went up to about 3,200. I'm like, Then I see it jump to 5,000. And this before the world or the nation was alerted, hey, we have a mortgage, you know, the subprime mortgage, we got a problem. It's about to crash. Well, it was showing you that sign because the inventory was starting to stack up, which means, all right, the market's probably going in a different direction. So, and then what happened was the 2 went to 3, 3 went to 6, 6 went to 10,000 single family homes. And then there goes the domino, the Jenga, tower falls, and there it goes, right? And it really only takes like one thing to really bring a market down. So my opinion is that we do crash, and I think it's worse than 2008. That's my opinion. I think it's an everything bubble in the sense there's a lot of things, and it really only takes like one little thing to pop a bubble, right? So the reason why the last time the housing market was because there were subprime mortgages, the loans, people are they got multiple loans that they can get. People would call them like ninja loans, no job, no income, no asset. You don't need any verification. If you had a pulse, you could get a loan, and multiple people had like 3 or 4 houses. So, and they were also adjustable rates. So when those rates kicked in and they went from, let's say, a 4% up to a 6 or 7, their payment went up. And then, hey, you got to make this payment, and it just couldn't sustain. Their income couldn't support it. So if we think about that today, we can say, okay, well, that's not the reason that it would crash today. Let's not say that there's bad loans out there. But if you go a little bit further and say, well, was it the bad loans or was it the fact that they couldn't afford what they had on their plate? It just, unfortunately, the average person doesn't have financial intelligence, right? Not a lot of people, we live for the moment. We go buy that new car, might get, I mean, I know people that have $1,000 Tesla payments, and I'm sure you guys might be like, well, that's not really the wisest thing. Well, a lot of people are doing it now. The new Ford Bronco is $70,000 at the dealership. Does that sound normal to you guys? Probably not. You know, it's just to move us from A to B. And then a lot of people right now are working from home. So how much A to B moving do you really need?
Right.
So if you really just, I mean, I could be long-winded on this, and there's a lot of things that are moving parts. And the fact that also if interest rates start to creep up, which they have, and Chairman Jerome Powell, who's the Federal Reserve Chairman, he's already made the comment, back in 2021, like, hey, we're probably going to have at least 3 or 4 rate hikes. Well, right now he hasn't even made a rate hike, and it's already naturally happened. My client down in South Florida is buying up this way, and I was like, hey, everything's going smooth. She was a little bummed out, nothing to do with me, but she got quoted 3.25%, and then within like a couple of weeks, she's at 3.75. So she was a little bummed, but that's super low. That's such a great rate, because back in the 80s there were double digits, 11%, 12%, even I think in the 70s and the 15%. So even if they go up a little bit and people are like, oh, the rates are climbing, if they're under 6%, that is like a great rate. Yeah. However, it still does what? 80% of buyers in Brevard County are getting loans, which is a finance deal. So if somebody right now is approved for $400,000, right, with today's rate, and the rate goes up, their $400,000 approval gets cut down. Might be 380, might be 370. Now they're approved for less. So now the average buyer, 80% of the market, is now approved for less, right? Instantly. So then the sellers would have to adjust to know that, hey, we're not able to get these prices anymore. You guys might need to be adjusting your prices. Sellers might be a little bit lagging on that because they saw what has recently sold at high prices, and there's usually a lag which allows stuff to come on the market until it's adjusted. So you guys interrupt me and pull the hook on me at any point. Let me know.
Joel better sell Cindy's house soon.
Yeah, I just saw the comment, and I just that must be Mitch. So.
Well, Dad's watching, Joel. You know,
was that Georgie
of yours? Might be
Georgie's watching. I must say, hello, Georgie. I love you. You're the main.
I love George too.
Houses, so.
Oh.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
So
I do too.
Chris, real quick though. I think you said you think it might crash, and
no, he said it will crash.
I know I'm being optimistic here because this is my bread and butter. Just like a one-liner, what would make it crash in your opinion? The rate?
Do you want without going into a far-fetched
one-liner?
A one-liner.
We have 32 minutes according to the young ladies that are hosting us, but I want to get your like couple minutes of, because I am honestly curious. You and I don't get to sit down a lot, so
if I was to give you one, because I think it's a couple things that started to make it.
It's going to be a snowball effect, I'm sure. Yeah,
like a domino effect.
Yeah. Somebody's income obviously is no longer supporting it, and maybe their income, but there's an event that caused that to happen. For let's say the stock, I think the stocks go. We've already seen multiple stocks, PayPal, some big companies dropping from their high of 2021, already down 70%. I feel like people aren't paying attention to that. And I'm like, I got Redfin. Here's another thing. Zillow, our real estate website, the juggernaut, is down 70% from its high of 2021. Is that a sign to what's to come? Redfin, another real estate company, down the same. Open Door, down. PayPal, Roku, Netflix, Facebook, Meta, Facebook. Go look at that chart. It's a nosedive straight down. I think there's a lag here that's what's about to happen. So think of a lot of people's stocks and 401ks if the market happens, Russia thing. I'm not going to go down that route, but possible cyber attack stuff like. Let's say that happens, and then next thing you know, people are going to do what? They then pull back to say, "Oh my God, my stocks, my stuff's getting hit, my assets." Right. That doesn't. No one. People pull back on money. So what happens is no spending happens as much, and if there's no spending happen as much, companies are receiving less. It's easy to cause job loss or to reduce people's income. maybe people aren't buying cars as much anymore. And so the salespeople aren't making as much. So then if they're not making as much, they're not spending as much.
Right.
And you have 7,000 realtors right now. Let's say, and I think it's already happening. The volume's not there where there's not a lot of transactions.
That's what I was going to touch on. Yeah.
So when the realtor's making less, who else is making less? The mortgage company.
So do you think this is like a national thing? Because I know that you and I have talked a little bit about all the jobs that are coming to Brevard County and all the opportunities that are happening here. I mean, do you think this is going to affect us on the Space Coast? Or do you think it's going to be more of a national thing or an area selective thing?
We could obviously dodge a lot of that just because of the thing is when this is a conversation I have with people always like, Chris, there's all these jobs coming. I'm like, that's fine. There's jobs coming, but it's not, that doesn't mean that the average income increased. So and I don't think we have a job problem. As you guys probably know, drive around now, hiring signs everywhere, especially for the entry level job. We have a labor problem. We have a shortage of labor right now where people don't want to work. And I'm not going to put Gen Z or anything on blast or anything like that. But let's just call it like it is. That's why Costco is trying to pay $18 an hour. So here's another thing. Think about this. My generation, when I got into the business, I was 22 years old. A lot of people that went to high school with me bought from me. They bought houses. So we had a lot of people buying houses. Yeah. Is the younger generation right now running to continue to help buy houses? And
a lot of them are renting.
They might be.
That's what I've been seeing.
Family still.
But like you said, a lot of these entry-level people that are making, if they even make 40,000 or 50,000, they can't afford it. Some of them can't even afford to rent right now. It's like
rentals are high, right?
So if the faucet gets turned off from the influx of people coming in, right? Let's say eventually that slows down, and that's
a good point you made, Chris. I didn't actually think about that. I was thinking about like the engineers that are coming down here and whatnot, but I'm not thinking about these 21, 22-year-olds that have to rent.
Yeah, when they build,
Here's another thing. So let's say that there's a bunch of engineers that come in, SpaceX, because that's the conversation I get. Oh, Chris, SpaceX, Blue Origins.
Firefly, Blue Origins,
Okay. There's so many jobs. I'm like, yeah, but I can quickly, easily fill that job, that household, 4 people there, 2 people there with a home because they can, 500 jobs come in. That's great. One neighborhood, 2 neighborhoods in Vieira can take those. Okay. Yeah, there you go. There goes the inventory, And here's the other thing that maybe people aren't aware of is that the growth of the nation of humans being born and reproduction in the United States is actually tapering down. But if you think about that, you're like, okay, we're not. So there's less humans in the United States being born and stuff. Yes. But the construction, they're building. So it's like, well, if that's happening and building goes up, are we going to have more like construction, buildings, housing compared to what? And that's another thing. That's like a national scale. But if we're talking Brevard County might be able to dodge a little bit of a problem. And what I'm saying could be wrong because in the last recession with the housing and stuff, there was areas, I think a couple in Tennessee, they didn't get hit. So could Brevard County not get hit? Well, our inventory is so low. It goes back to what you said, Joel, like until you make that inventory go up, then we're going to be fine. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, but could something cause the inventory to obviously start to expand? And I really do think like if the average income here is let's say it's at X, let's say it's at 50,000, what does the average income get somebody? But then you crank up the rate and their approval becomes lower. So then the price drops for the average person to buy. Like, okay, you make this much money a year. All right, you're approved at 300,000 right now, right? Oh, the rate just went up. You're now approved for 280. Well, that's their bond.
They got to get out of here. They got to get out of here, right? They got to move out of the area.
That's what was told to me.
No, I know. I'm putting 2 and 2 together. What you're saying, and I didn't think about it that way. And I'm glad you told me that because it makes sense.
Yeah, because it's very informative. Definitely. Yeah. Somebody wants to know: do you think it's a better idea to purchase a lot and build, or buy?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. Well, Joel, do you want it, or you want me to jump on this one?
No, go, Joel. This one's for Joel.
I think that building is not a bad thing. I wouldn't purchase a lot. I would try to roll it into the actual build with the builder. I would have the builder put the lot in with the sale itself, and I would do it now because I've had people. I won't give the example that I have in my head, but I've had people that went under contract on a property in Vieira with Vieira Builders, and it's been a very long process, and they were not like super happy with the price at the time, but that was about a year and a half ago. Their house is going to be ready now. It's worth double what it was before because they contracted a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So these people are contracting now, and I think Cindy knows the example that I was saying I'm not going to say. Remember? You remember the...
Yes.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The sale that happened? Yeah.
Yes.
So these people contracted in a neighborhood, my customers, for a very, very good price about a year and a half ago, and they were upset that their bill was taking so long. And that has a lot to do with materials. You know, obviously COVID put things behind, but now in hindsight, their home is going to be done pretty soon, and they're pretty happy because they probably paid about half of what they would pay now if they contracted right now today. So I guess to answer that question is, it's tough to give you a yes or no, but if you're planning on building a house, I would do it right now, and I wouldn't wait, and I wouldn't drag my feet. And Chris probably has a better answer than I do.
No, your answer is fine. But to comment on that, I spoke to a gentleman at Holiday Builder, and they were saying the same thing, that people were purchasing now, and it takes, 8 to 11 months to, your house to be completed. And the amount, I don't know all the terminology, but the amount that has grown was paying. Yeah, it was like paying the PPI down, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyways, it was basically you were making money on your house. Like, say you bought it for $300,000. By the time you moved in, it's maybe worth $340,000.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was saying in a nutshell.
Yeah,
and
I think what makes it
time, to answer that person's question, if you get it at the right time, you get in the right neighborhood, you contract the right time at a good price, then yeah, it makes sense. But it's tough right now because the prices even on that are pretty high.
I know. So what stops the builder from asking, astronomical prices as well to build? If he knows that he could put something out there and turn around and sell it for double the price than building it for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I think the builder you're talking about has cornered the market, because you and I have had this conversation.
Crazy.
So they've cornered the market.
But even
the
houses in Vieira are ridiculous. That when we were looking, Cindy, people that bought a year ago could sell the house in that neighborhood for more than it's. And
I think that's what's happening. That was the one that I sent over today. I think that's what they're seeing. And they're, if maybe they're about to even move in and they realize they can maybe make 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 really quick and sell their house that they're not even living in yet. I think, that may be happening. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Somebody asked about foreclosures. I don't feel like I've seen very many foreclosures.
Chris, how many foreclosures have you seen?
The auction list is very minimal right now. I mean, back when the market crashed, I was looking at 200 homes a week that were going for auction and going through foreclosure. So right now, very limited. And even if the foreclosure, let's say it goes to the auction, because this is typically the process. Somebody obviously defaults, they get the list pendants slapped against them because they're not paying their mortgage. That they end up going to auction, and somebody obviously could buy it at the auction. It's getting pushed up at the auction, and a lot of these big companies, these like hedge funds and stuff, are grabbing it because they'll just run it out and they'll generate 8 to 9%.
And they'll wait for the appreciation.
Yeah.
So 2 to 3 years once it
foreclosures are going for retail anyway, so there's nothing like the term foreclosure seems great. It's like, oh, I want to buy a foreclosure, but in this market, you're still paying almost retail for it.
Mm-hmm. And then I had a question when you guys were
about foreclosures. So if anybody should reach out to him, he knows all about that. So
when you guys were talking about the inventory being so low and the amount of realtors, especially just in Brevard County, so high, does it worry you? Obviously you make your money on selling or of a house or that I mean, I would be worried if, you can't find your clients' properties or they're selling so fast. If there's you said
Inventory.
7,000 realtors
Yes.
to
I did.
500 houses, like,
Yes.
What is your question that we're worried that there's so many realtors, or that
no,
there's
I just mean
so
like,
little inventory?
is it a concern to you
Oh yeah,
guys?
yeah. I mean, I think Chris is doing more listings, and I'm probably doing more buyers right now. And for me, like, I do a lot of listings too, but I'm working with more buyers than I have in a while, and it's frustrating because we want to find you what you want, but it's just it's not there. It's not there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so we're getting creative, and we're sending out mailers. Sometimes we're knocking on doors in certain neighborhoods if that's where the people want to be. And I work with Karen D. Alberto in my office. Her and I mail to a lot
Love
of
her.
properties. Yes, you know Karen?
She's a client of mine, yeah.
Oh, she's great. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So her and I do a lot of mailers, and that's been beneficial for us. But right now, I mean, honestly, it is a concern that the inventory is so low if you're working with buyers. And I think we have the ability to be very creative with things, and I won't say what they are because I'm not give out our secrets. But I think Chris is very creative with things too, and that's the key right now. Is it's frustrating. It's frustrating for us. It's frustrating for buyers. Very much for buyers. So
somebody asked, are REITs a good investment now?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
REITs. Chris, you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a term.
REITs?
It means something else that I'm okay. Real estate. I can't remember, honestly.
Anna, can you please define what REITs are? And then somebody said, I have people calling me to buy my house, but if I sell, I need somewhere to go. Vicious cycle.
Yes, exactly.
I've had this conversation with Cindy. I bought my house at a very, very good time, and I could sell my house for a very good amount of money. But the biggest concern that me and my wife and my kids have is, where would we go? Right. So it's tough. I mean, nobody can answer that question for you. It's a question that you and your family have to sit down and come up with and get an answer for yourselves, So
I guess it means real estate investment trust. Are they a good investment?
I mean, a trust is. I mean, I have clients that put properties in trust. A real estate investment trust. I guess my answer is I don't know what specific that area is, other than I just know people deed their properties that way, but I don't know if that's a group of homes, because those are usually called tapes sometimes when there's a group of like properties together and you can buy the actual tape with a bunch of different properties. So I have never really went down that route to be specific on what that is. It's never came across. I just foreclosures, standard sales, auction properties. That's most of the stuff I deal with. I mean, stuff that's gone through probate and things like that. Like I've had all that, but nothing specific on that actual real estate investment trust.
I'm not familiar with that term either, to be honest with you. It's just
maybe somebody out there listening could help us out.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that 7,000.
Maybe John Curry's listening.
The 7,000 realtors, it being a problem. I think the reason why I'm okay with the market adjusting and stuff is because I actually built my business during a crash. So I'm used to something going down. My whole career was pretty much, I got in, the thing came and fell out, and I'm like, all right, I got to figure out how to be successful in this. And I think a lot of opportunity comes when things reset. I think a lot of investors come out. People want to buy second homes and stuff. So if I was Joel, and Joel's been, and he's probably gonna be like, Chris, stop. Joel's done very, very, very well. He came in after me, and he sold more dollars than me. I don't know if he knows this. He sold he's handled personally, which is rare, over 200 transactions. He's personally handled over 200 scenarios, deals with, which a lot of people have assistants and stuff. He doesn't.
Round of applause, Joel. Good job.
So he sold more than me. I'm about 50 million. He's over at 66, maybe a little bit more than that.
Oh my God, you looked it up?
I did. I'm prepared for this stuff.
Is
Sometimes.
competition something that's inside of realtors? I
No,
feel
me
like
and Chris are not in competition.
no,
With-
not competition. I think it's healthy. I think Chris
Oh
is
no, with
super
other companies,
knowledgeable.
no, but inside of our company, it's really cool because we pump each other up, and the thing that I think is really cool about our company, especially like me, Chris, and John, we've been here for a long time, and as agents, and then like I have to give a shout out to Blair Wilgus. She's like our glue, but me, Chris, and John. Well, Chris and John basically taught me how to sell real estate in a down market. So people now are like, oh my gosh, I'm selling so much real estate. We did it when the market was crap, right? After it crashed, it was no good.
Yeah.
And I have to attribute a lot to do with John, but mostly Chris. He taught me how to do it. And I don't know. I guess I'm just giving him a shout out. Hey, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, bro. No
Air
problem.
high five. Air high five.
I was shocked. I
Definitely.
was like, man, he's already sold over, and I've sold 250 transactions personally, and I came in before him, so he came up quick after me and has done very, very well. So, anyways,
We're blessed to have each other.
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Nice.
And that's what we like about our company. And I know like this is like we're not supposed to, but no, we're a team over here. We pump each other up. It's awesome to work together. And I've had the honor of working with Chris for the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
How long have you been? 18 years, you said?
I'm 18, so
I'm 11, and then John has
Wow.
15 too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so we've been together a long time. It's really nice.
Do you guys have
it?
it? Do you guys have any opinions? I think it's becoming a very popular trend. Not that it's a new trend, but just getting more popularity about like Airbnbs and Verbos and that. Every time I swipe like on a TikTok or Instagram reel, it's the new thing about people having, I mean, not new. I know it's been around a while, but it's just become a thing. What I'm sure Chris may have an opinion.
Okay, so obviously people I love dealing with investments, figuring out ways to make money in real estate. So right now people are like, oh, I own an Airbnb and this, and they can cash flow very, very good. So I do like them. They're really good at it. And even if it was just a basic rental. So whether you're buying the property and you flip it, or going back to what Cindy was saying, she's like, I've never even seen this where people are buying these new constructions, locking into the deal, and by the time it's completed, they can almost sell it for more. Well, here's lo and behold, that's what happened last time. So over beachside, we'll call Oceanside Village, people were buying those, the nice the estate section. They were buying those houses with putting like 20% down to lock it in. And then they were flipping it to somebody else or reselling it. So they were just putting 20% down or whatever the builder was allowing. And while the market appreciated, they would then offload it to somebody else. So all they had to do was put in 20K or 10K to hold the property. And then they were pulling like 50 grand, right? But what happened is that ended up not becoming a good thing. Some people got stuck with it. So what happens? Well, you now have to get a mortgage. And the other thing I wanted to touch on, if I was just thinking about this when you guys were talking, let's say somebody this goes back to whoever asked the question of should I build or should I buy? Well, think about this, and this how risky this is for builders. Somebody locks into a contract to build a house and it's going to cost them $450,000, right? They're approved for $450,000. But they're on the edge of approval. A lot of people don't, they maxed it out. They get the best house, they max it out. Well, let's say the rate goes up during that time and they didn't lock in their rate and the rate isn't locked in yet. And next thing you know, they're not approved no more. Now they might lose maybe they lose their deposit, but now they're got to obviously sell the house to somebody else. That can happen. And they're going to be a little
Do you see a lot of people losing out to cash buyers? Do you see that happening
100%.
too?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got properties going 50,000. Like I'll give you an example. Vieira, east of Morel, the neighborhood over there off of like Clubhouse by Vieira East Golf Course. There's been some houses that I bid against with my clients. I had a client in Nevada, and we were going aggressively at stuff, but I was getting beat out $50,000 over asking. So if it was $450, a $450 list, I'm seeing it closed on the MLS for $500. I'm like, somebody went 50,000 over. Yeah, that's what's happening.
What were those houses, Cindy?
Too, so.
Yeah, and that's
Viera,
another tease, the coming soon. A lot of times they're already sold and they just want to see if they could up their ante even more.
Well, they're
I
doing
mean,
the coming soon, and they're trying to get offers during the coming soon phase, so they can just skip the showings. You know what I mean?
oh,
And then Cindy, they're just putting that one picture up, which
yeah, oh,
it's no good. It's no good. Nobody's gonna buy it with one picture. So.
no.
But there are people from other states that are coming down here and they're paying cash and they're looking at it
Right.
coming soon, and they're desperate. The inventory is super low, and they're jumping on it. So
I
and it's
know.
like you said, people are coming from other states, and if they're selling a house, let's say up north, where they're maybe making, this much,
Right.
and then they come down here, maybe spending an extra 50K isn't,
well, our
crazy.
prices compared to a lot of other states like New York, New Jersey, California, Pennsylvania, not so much Pennsylvania, but the other ones I named, our prices are kind of considered cheap to them. But the big thing is our taxes are very cheap to them. So
Much lower.
you're looking at just a payment. You know what I mean? Like, I can buy this house. To me, it's cheap compared to what I have up here. But then they're looking at taxes and insurance, and that's,
Right.
that's
And
a big
if people are working remotely, they could live anywhere.
deal.
So why not come and live
I have
here?
a customer
Live by
who
the
had
beach.
I had a customer who had to live in San Diego. He worked for Amazon. He worked for what is it? Market Fresh, is that what it's called? The Amazon grocery store.
Yeah.
He had to live in San Diego. The pandemic hit. He's from here. He was able to move back here. He can work wherever he wants.
Wow.
And he spent a fraction. The house that he bought here in Viera would have been like a 1.5 or 1.7 million dollar house. He spent $600,000 here. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then you got to think about taxes out there and tax. So he's loving life right now. But a lot of people are doing that, even older folks. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I
Sounds good.
didn't know we would jump right in. I did have a few questions, not necessarily real estate involved. So if you guys don't mind, I'll ask the question, and then like each of you can answer. Okay?
Yeah.
So first question, what was your favorite subject in high school?
I like science.
I don't have one. I was so bad in school. I wanted to go to the school. I wanted to hang out with friends. I was a very bad student. I don't have one.
Okay, if you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'm going with tacos.
I like anything Italian, but do you want me to give you an actual piece of food?
Whatever you want, Joel. Yeah, give us the
It would
food.
probably be lasagna.
You would be rolling around.
Lasagna. Unlike Garfield, lasagna.
Name a song that you listen to that gets you pumped up. This tells our audience a lot about you.
Like,
yes.
Recently, there's a song that was coming on my Pandora, and I don't even know the name of it, but it sounds pretty like the song keeps saying, "Get out my way, get out my way," and it's pretty much it's very motivating because it's like you're going after a goal, and it keeps repeating that in the chorus. Nice. It's just stuck in my head. So that's my quick answer.
Yeah. Joel.
So nobody will know what this song is. It's by John Fordham. It's called "Break the Ice." It's from the movie Rad.
That's one of mine too.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Break the ice. I'm gonna have to look
nobody knows who he is though. I can't.
Wait, tell me the name so I can look it up.
John Fordham. Break the Ice.
It's an 80s song.
Rad.
There's the other one on Rad too that I like too.
They're all good.
Thunder in Your Heart is the other one.
Thunder in Your Heart.
Joe, I didn't even know that about you, bro.
Dude, I have it. I bootlegged it on Blu-ray. I paid a guy. So.
Okay.
I'll get it. I'll copy it.
Thunder.
All right, we got more questions?
Yeah, last question.
I want more. I like these questions.
Oh, we're good at these. Our first episode, we did a bunch of questions. But if you weren't a realtor, what career path would you have taken?
Chris,
that's a good.
I'm terrible at it. I love music. I wish I could make really good songs because I like to write and stuff. I've written a couple books and things, so I like to create. So if I wasn't doing real estate and I wasn't servicing and investing and playing with stocks, I wish I was I wish I was a good musician. I think I failed early on. I should have learned the guitar and stuff. So I would like to have a wit in that direction.
Mine is, it's not a profitable industry. I spent my entire life until I got into real estate fishing. I spent every day fishing. I worked at night so that I could fish all day long.
Wow.
You know where the Sebastian Inlet is?
Yeah.
A little bit north of there. I spent too many years down there fishing.
Somebody's laughing at the fact that you said you bootlegged it. It's illegal.
No, I paid a guy to bootleg it, so he broke the law. Did I break the law by buying it?
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I guess professional fisherman. I know that's like a childhood thing to say, but
wow,
that's what my kids want to do all the time. They always ask me to take them fishing, and I'm always working. So.
Oh,
yeah. Do you catch and release, or do you eat what you catch?
It depends on what you're fishing for, but yeah, I like to eat fish. You like to eat fish, don't you? Come on, Kristen.
No, I don't eat any seafood.
I think it's if you catch some nice tuna.
I don't eat anything that comes out of the water.
Oh, good for you.
I respect the sea.
Cindy likes fish, don't you, Cindy? Yeah, of course. See?
Not that much. I don't think you like fish that much.
Chris wants to be a DJ, and I want to be a fisherman.
Nice. Sounds good.
That's great. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming on the show. No reason to fret, right, Joel? This is fun, huh?
No, it was really fun. I'm glad I did it. I just
thank you.
I'm kind of camera shy, but I'm glad I could sit in here and do it in my office. And
absolutely,
I really appreciate this.
Thank you. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
I'm really good with text. So.
Oh,
okay.
But I'm good.
Well, this is his email. If you want to email him,
I can email you. I can do that.
Okay. And yeah, so give you guys yourself a little plug. So we've mentioned that you guys are in Twilight.
Okay. I want to say thank you both ladies. Thank you for having us on here.
Thank you.
Wants to reach out to me, you can just remember my name, Christopher Register. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram under Christopher Register. I do a lot of the training now at the office. So if you've been thinking about getting in the business, or you're
Chris is a wealth of knowledge for sure.
I literally I still dabble in real estate. But now my focus is obviously helping Curry Properties grow. And if the market does shift, I kind of built my business in a down market. So I feel like I can help the office a lot if that happens.
That's great.
So if anyone out there that wants to get involved in business, you can reach out to me for that reason. And also listing and buying, you can kick it over to Joel.
I'm good.
No, Joel is very occupied finding Cindy her dream.
my whole life is. But Cindy contacted me about doing this podcast, and I wanted to do it, but I think Cindy will tell you that the first thing I said to her is, "There's a
Chris,
yes, needs to be a part of this, and his name is Chris Register." And she was like, "Great." And then I honestly was gonna kind of bow out because I'm camera shy, and then like Chris and I were texting, and Chris goes, "Am I just gonna do it, or we're gonna do it together?" And I was like, "What do you think?" He goes, "Let's tag team." And I was like, all right, so he's going to break me out of my shell a little bit. So that was good of you, Chris.
Yes. Chris is great. I watched some of his videos on Facebook. He's awesome.
He does a great job.
Excellent.
He did a video with a good buddy of ours, Brian Troy, that everybody should watch. So.
Okay, sounds good. And I heard a rumor that Chris may be able to join our Skinergy singles. Was that right?
Oh yeah, Chris. Are you a bachelor for the ladies that are watching?
I am. I'm single, and I don't know. I guess. You know, my problem, and I have no problem saying this, my problem on why I'm single is because I grew up in the 80s, and I obviously listened to music in the 90s, and a lot of the movies taught me, like, hey, this is what relationships should be like, this is what you should have. So I had this all built up. The bars were all high. And today it seems like that a lot of, like, morals are gone, and just the way the tech has. And I'm still locked on to that. Maybe The Notebook, kind of like, sorry, I have a sign back. I have my vision board right here, and it's got Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling, and it sounds super soft, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, I want that, so I'll stay single until I find that.
Do you use apps? Me and Cindy had a whole podcast about apps. Are you on the apps?
They're terrible. It's yes, but the problem is I think interior connecting, like energy and meeting someone face to face and get that unspoken vibe that you can connect with somebody. You don't get that on, let's say, Bumble. it's all exterior. It's all judging off of looks. You're analyzing a person that way. No one takes it serious. You're kind of marketing like your physical features and not like let's say a woman walks by me. Sometimes like just her energy or something picks up on it, but it's not in a sexual way where on Bumble and the pictures of showing yourself, and it can be marketing, like a woman and a man could be marketing themselves in more of a physical sexual way, which is not a good foundation to connect with, which is why probably nothing ever works, because you're not connecting from this, which
Me
is
and
how
Cindy definitely agree. That's why we wanted to have this Skinergy singles, and we're planning something. So whether it's like a bowling event or like kind of like a speed dating,
like
because
it's like a live,
yeah, like in person,
sure.
because we know a lot of women. Our hard thing is finding the men, but we know a lot of people that have their career, maybe have their home and not a good place in their life where they just really want to meet a genuine connection. And like you said, on the apps, a lot of them are filled with just wanting a sexual relationship or something of that nature, not finding. And where else can you go that you may meet 10 other people that are seriously looking for something that you're also looking? And it's not like we're professional matchmakers, but just setting up an environment where that is welcomed is our goal.
That's why high school and school was so great, right? You had a bunch of people together, and just naturally people might gravitate towards each other subconsciously without even knowing, and that's how great relationships sometimes would happen. But then swiping, find it. It was
exactly
around somebody.
Well, let us know, Joel, if you know any other single guys. Chris, we're adding you to the list.
I have a brother who needs to get
yes, definitely.
Excellent.
He's a little rough around the edges, but
it's all right.
That's fine.
I'll send him your way. Okay, I'll send him your
please.
And if he needs any services beforehand, we can help clean him up a little bit.
There you go. There you go.
Personality wise, but I clean him up appearance wise too. So
sounds good.
But thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I was really nervous and I had a good time. I know Chris is like, he's really comfortable in front of the camera. I'm not. So thank you, Chris.
Great.
And
thank you so much.
We should maybe talk about doing this like a regular thing,
Oh, like Mr. Joel who was nervous.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
Yeah. Joel is ready now.
I'm ready now. As long as
I love it.
My left.
Just broke the ice.
Yeah. We could do videos of us going to homes and showing homes and
Joel's gonna have his own podcast soon.
I will not, but I will be on other people's podcasts.
All right. Sounds great.
Well, thank you guys so much.
I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
I was super nervous. You can ask my wife. I put a bunch of makeup on. I did my hair time. But I had a good time. I appreciate you guys inviting me to do this. So.
Thank you. Yes, of course. Definitely. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Nice. That was great.